everybody. This is Dilek with Nokta Detectors. First of all, I hope wherever you are in the world, you're doing fine and you're healthy and So excuse me today because I've never been so excited before while doing a live stream. For those who know me, you know I've done many live streams and I've done many product introductions, but I've never been as excited as I am today. Because today, we're not only launching a new detector, we're actually launching a new level of ambition. Before I start my presentation, I would like to tell you that at the end of the presentation, I'm not going to be taking questions from you guys because based on my previous experience, it's very hard for me to follow all the questions and I seem to miss a lot of them and I don't want people to think that I'm not answering those questions. Instead, shortly after the launch of our new device, we're going to be putting all the information that I didn't cover maybe on this presentation on our website. And you know, you can always reach us by email or by messages through social media platforms, and we'll try to answer your questions as soon as possible. Now, like I said, I've never been so excited. For so long, gold prospectors, have had to choose between things like small gold or deep gold. They had to choose between maybe performance and simplicity, or they had to choose between power and practicality. But today, we put an end to that with the Magnetar 9000. One machine, all gold. And by the way, guys, this is not just a slogan. It's a promise we're making behind this machine. Now, before I start talking about the Magnetar 9000, I would like to clarify something. This is actually an important disclaimer we're making. Because a couple of years ago, we said we were coming out with a high-end detector at an aggressive price point. And that promise, by the way, still holds true. But today, as a surprise, we're not really releasing that detector. We're releasing a flagship model. So our initial idea was to lead from the bottom and go up. But we kind of changed that strategy based on the demands and the requests we got from different gold prospectors around the world. So what we're releasing today is actually our flagship model in our gold detectors range, and it's the Magnetar 9000. And in the future, we're going to be coming out with other detectors with more aggressive pricing and even including new VLF detectors that we're planning to launch. Let me tell you a little bit about the Magnetar launch story. We all know that gold hunters do not want to carry multiple detectors for different conditions. You know, they want one detector. They want only one platform that can go deep, that is very sensitive to very small gold, that can work stable in harsh ground, like highly mineralized ground, and still respond to those small gold nuggets. So this was the philosophy that Magnetar 9000 was built on. It was created around that promise. One machine, all gold. And this machine was not created, was not built in a lab environment only. It was literally developed in the field. What you're looking at right now is our real field test photos from many different countries, from Africa to Americas to Asia and others. So this is a machine that's built for the real users. This is a machine that was developed on the field for real gold detectorists. And this is a machine, actually, that was built after 6 years of research, development, and engineering, guys. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our engineering team. First, the director, Mr. Ahmed, and his whole team. I am actually grateful, for having such a powerful device, a flagship model above all. Now, let's look at the Magnetar 9000 a little bit more closely. At the core of this detector is an advanced pulse induction technology. And the real goal of this detector is to provide power for deep gold and precision for very small gold. In addition to that, what's new for Nokta is our new coils, and they're called DRC, which stands for Dual-Receiver Coils. That's another key technology that is used in the Magnetar 9000. Now, why DRC coils matter? More coils mean more control, and that means more gold. The DRC coils actually enable the users to hear less of the ground and more of the gold itself. So they actually kind of provide a balance between depth, stability, and power to handle mineralized ground. So they basically provide a strong depth with sharper target response and, like I said, more stable operation in mineralized ground. They also provide coil size flexibility without changing the platform's core behavior. Now, with the Magnetar 9000, guys, and this is a launch special, I would like to underline this, we actually prepared a 2-coil package for you guys. This is going to be a launch special. So the detector will come with a 14-inch DRC dual receiver coil, and as a launch special, we're going to be including an 11-inch coil free in the package, in the launch packages. And I'm going to be talking about the package contents later in the presentation. Now, of course, performance, guys, is not the end of the story. A detector, especially a gold detector, needs more features than just depth or stability for the real field conditions. So, what else does the Magnetar offer to its users? First of all, it offers 2 different modes. One is the easy mode for beginners and an expert mode, and I'm going to talk about this in the next slide. It also offers IP68 rating, which means this detector is fully submersible up to 10 feet or 3 meters, guys. The Magnetar 9000 has a built-in loudspeaker. However, it also offers Bluetooth audio freedom. The detector does come with our Bluetooth headphones, so it's up to the user to use the loudspeaker or the Bluetooth audio. It has a full color LCD, and it comes with a full telescopic carbon fiber shaft. And it's very ergonomic and lightweight, especially compared to its competition. And it does provide a very long battery life, guys. Yeah, so we built the Magnetar 9000 very easy for maybe the majority of users, for maybe beginners. And we made it very powerful for experts. So, like I said before, when you turn on the device, you get a screen, just like you're looking at right now, that says Easy and Expert. You can choose one or the other, and let's say you choose the easy one. On the next screen, I'm going to show you that it's going to be very actually easy to switch to the expert if you want. So this detector offers a very fast setup for beginners or for people who do not want to mess with a lot of different settings. And it also offers for the experts a more advanced control of the detector. So it actually has an accessible learning curve. Somebody can begin with the easy mode, and then with time they can switch to the expert one. So it does actually have the professional capability. So what you're looking at right now is the easy mode screen, the initial screen, and the expert mode initial screen. If you look at the easy one, guys, everything happens on one screen. There are no screens to change. Everything, that you need to set is on that screen you're looking at. That's about it. These are all the settings you need in the easy mode. So you do your ground balance and boom, you're off to go. And if you want to switch from easy to expert, you just press the profile button on the keypad and then switch to the expert mode. When you go to the expert mode though, if you look at those 3 dots underneath the, the coil icon there, that shows the number of pages, the number of different screens you can go into, which is full of different settings, different features, and it gives the ability to the user to fine-tune the detector to their preference or based on their conditions, soil conditions, or based on the targets that they're looking for. Now, this is not all there is to it. There's also a smart feature set, we call it, that actually made to work harder in the field. The first one is the auto noise cancellation. I'm sure you're all familiar with this term because we have that in our other detectors in the VLF arena. What does the auto noise cancellation do? It actually helps to reduce the environmental interface, to eliminate it or to minimize it for a cleaner listening and for more stable operation. Now, the Magnetar 9000 is a multi-language detector. From Spanish to Arabic to Russian to Turkish, Portuguese, it does offer different languages. Actually, I believe it's 10 in total. This detector is updatable, guys. Just like all our detectors are, we made the Magnetar 9000 also updatable. Why? Because for Nokta, the development actually does not end with the launch of a detector. It's an ongoing process for Nokta. What we do as the Nokta team, after we launch a detector, we listen, we read, we really pay a lot of attention to the feedback that's coming from the field, that's coming from the actual users. And anything we can do to make this detector better or add more performance or add new features, if it's doable, you bet it's going to be done. So this detector is an updatable detector, just like our other detectors. On this detector, we also have backlit LCD as well as keys. Another feature is our flashlight. You know, Nokta was the first company in the whole world to put a flashlight on their metal detectors. And we've been doing that on every detector since then. This detector does have a flashlight as well, which makes it very easy to use in dark environments. And it also has key sounds and vibration. So we wanted to actually give, you know, more feedback to the user when they're, you know, playing with the keys, for them to understand that, you know, the button was actually pressed. Because sometimes, you know, prospectors or detectors, they use gloves, and sometimes they cannot feel the press of the button. And by giving sound and vibration, it's additional feedback for the user. Now, let's talk about the package contents. This detector has a very rich package content. It's literally ready for the field. I mean, we included almost everything that a user needs, you know, when they start using this detector. Because we don't want our users to wait, you know, for different accessories or, you know, different coils, which we're going to talk about. So we're including everything you can imagine in this package. So let's look at them now. First, like I mentioned before, it's the 14-inch DRC, Dual-Receiver Coil, that comes with the detector. We call it the MG37. We're also including, as a launch special, an 11-inch DRC coil in the package. Now, the detector comes with a battery installed, but we're also including a separate battery inside the package, along with the charger and with different types of plugs for different countries, plug adapters basically. The next item actually is the car charger, the vehicle charger, so you can actually charge the detector in your car or even from your car's battery. So this is the battery clamp charging cable. I already mentioned the Bluetooth headphones. We're also including headphone adapter, and this you can use if you want to use your own, let's say, wired headphones. Let's say you have this favorite, you know, pair of headphones that, you know, you want to use with the Magnetar 9000, then you can connect them through this cable. We're not finished. I already mentioned that the detector actually, compared to its competition, it's pretty lightweight and ergonomic. Yet, when you use it for a long time out in the field, you may want to get some weight off the detector. For that reason, we're including a hip stick and a bungee cord in the package. And this is, sorry for that, okay. Live stream, guys. Anyway, so this actually, with the bungee cord, attaches to our backpack. Okay? So the bungee cord attaches to one of the hooks here, and then you attach the bungee cord to the detector, and this hip stick can be attached to the bottom belt of the detector bag or your own belt. And it really does help a lot to take the weight off for when you're using the detector for a, you know, extended time of period. We're also including, and I know this comes very handy for gold prospectors, our standard plastic digger and our famous detector bag that people have been loving to carry the machine and all its accessories. Now, We're not done. I told you that the detector is gonna come with 2 coils as a launch special. However, Nokta is working on many different optional coils, guys. Now, you see on the screen that most of them are like blurred, you know, flu, not clear. The reason for that is we're still working on them, and the final shape and design is not confirmed. We have only one that we recently confirmed the design of, which is the 14-inch concentric coil. So this is a platform, guys, that actually works with different types of coils, not only the DRC coils, but also concentric coils. And we all know that the concentric coils actually can be very handy under certain conditions. So we're also working on different concentric coils where the sizes will differ between 15 to 19 inches, guys. And as more information become available on those optional coils, we will be sharing them with you. We're also working on a smaller coil, an 11-inch coil, which is again concentric. And we are working on a very large coil, but that's going to be a DRC coil, 19-inch coil, or 37 centimeters. 19-inch, yes, 19-inch coil. I can't remember the centimeters right now, but anyway. Now you're going to ask me, why Magnetar 9000? Why? Let me tell you why. I know some of you are smiling right now. You know, maybe some of you are laughing, or maybe some of you are upset because you see some numbers there. And it says 9,000 is bigger than 8,000, 7,000, 6,000 others. Well, actually, if you think about it, that's a mathematical true statement, correct? Yeah. For too long, guys, this market felt like a monopoly, okay? And we're changing that now. We're changing that today. Magnetar 9000 is our flagship response above the current pulse induction field. This machine represents maximum depth. This machine represents stability. This machine works really well in those tough mineralized ground. This machine can find very small gold. This machine can detect deep gold, and it's fully waterproof and has less weight and updatable, and it will offer a variety of coils for every purpose. And again, it will be competitive even with its price. Not aggressively valued, because this is our flagship. We're going to have those more aggressively priced, detectors in the future, but we're not releasing those now. We are releasing a flagship detector. Now, availability, guys. I'm very happy to let you know that this is not a pre-launch. This is the launch. We're in mass production, guys. These boxes, will be filled, packed with detectors this week, and we're gonna start shipping them next week. So this is not a pre-launch. It's the actual launch of the Magnetar 9000, okay? And when we talk about availability, guys, I want to tell you that the initial availability will vary by country and region, because we do have strong demand, early demand actually, before we even launch the product, which means the first production units allocations will be limited. So I strongly advise you to check with your distributors and dealers on the availability of the device. Now, this is all I want to say today. And I would like to thank all of you for watching this live, or also those who are going to watch this video later on. This is a very important day and moment in Nokta's history. Magnetar 9000 is here to change the pulse induction arena. That felt like a monopoly all these years. Now, Nokta is in the game, guys. Thank you very much. Magnetar 9000. One machine, all gold.